That's my epic tale. A champion prevailed, defeated the villain. Now pour him some ale. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. Oh, toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. Oh, toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. Oh, toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Witcher Wednesday here on Tales from the Grim. We are getting ready to go into what is sure to be an eventful evening. We are starting with some combat, so if you are watching us on VOD, Twitch, or YouTube for the first time and you have a hankering for what Witcher combat is like in this TTRPG, stick around. You'll find out very, very shortly. But why are we here? Our fantastic sponsors, Roll20 and Artalsorian Games. Roll20 is our virtual tabletop of choice, and it can be yours as well. If you would go to www.roll20.net/start/tales from the Grim, you can get a free account, begin your own adventures in Cthulhu, Dungeons & Dragons, dozens of systems with dozens of assets that you can build your own world, create your own adventures, whether it be here on the continent of Witcher, Faerun, wherever you would like to place your players or become a player yourself and create a story like we would do around any wooden tabletop or coffee table. But in addition to Roll20, we have Artalsorian Games, who is here to help us out by giving away copies of the PDF core rulebook. And if you enter into the contest that I will be starting right now, you have your chance to win your very own. Let me complete that, and boom. Your very own copy. You can learn all about this. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's fun reading, and sometimes the mechanical aspects of an RPG are not very fun. This one I find very entertaining. And so, we know why we're here. We know how we're here, because of Roll20 and Artalsorian Games. How can you help? Well, that's easy. If you go right now and retweet our going live link, I mentioned that there would be combat. This one's simple, everybody. At 20 retweets, a random party member will be given a crit. Double damage. At 30, 2 party members will be given crits to use, and at 3, I will allow a brutal critical to be wielded by one of these players. A brutal critical could kill something outright. So, if we get to 40 retweets, the likelihood of one-shotting something increases dramatically. And so, if you would like to help, please retweet. If you would like to directly influence the game, look straight down and you will see that there are donations of which you can use. You can provide health. You can provide hindrances. With winds howling, it makes things more difficult in this current session. With how do you like that silver, it makes things easier by upping the die rolls of each of the players. You can join if you would like yourself and take your own trial of the grasses, become a Witcher or any occupation inside this game. You will be featured in your very own solo flashback and then join the crew for at least one adventure here in the continent. We have 1 of 3 left. So if you fancy it, please do so. We would love to have you. Our 2 other characters will be coming in very shortly. We have already run the flashback episodes for them. Extremely entertaining. I can't wait for y'all to meet the new characters. But any of those donations that you give, they will go directly 100% as profit sharing for the players that you are about to meet. You are compensating them both in the narrative and financially for their time. It's something we like to do here on Tales from the Grim. It's a collective story. It's a collective process all around. And without your help, It doesn't mean much, and so thank you very much for being here in any fashion. So sit back and enjoy the story or actively take a part in it. Just so you know, we play our missions very much like the video game Witcher 3. Whenever you complete them, you get experience points. And right now, the group is in the middle of one called In the Forest, Dark and Deep. So before we get started, let's bring in our friends. Hello, friends. Welcome back to The Witcher. If you wouldn't mind quickly going around, letting us all know who you are and who you'll be playing. And, I'll just get started. JF, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good. Pretty excited for tonight, for right now.
Okay.
In a few seconds, I'll be playing Deucey of Gamera, who has now locked blades with a rebel witcher, or at any rate, one that smells like one.
Certainly does. Smells like tomfoolery and beggar tick blossom. As we drop down to Josh. Josh, how are you doing, my friend? I know how you're doing, and I congratulate you for being here, but how are you doing right at this moment, and who will you be playing?
I am doing great, as you can no doubt tell, but I am double fisting Witcher concoctions, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I will be playing Eros of Gesso, who thankfully is sneaky and able to run away from what is coming. That's my plan. That's my plan for tonight, is to just bail on the entire party, let them figure it out.
Fantastic. That sounds like the best plan I've heard so far. Let's jump over to my friend Trooper. Trooper, how are you, and who will you be playing tonight?
Hey, I'm Trooper SJP, and I'm doing well. I'm very excited for tonight. I was promised by Greg that it would be an episode where we have a picnic and just chat about our childhood and like our dreams and hopes, and there would be no combat whatsoever. So I'm pretty excited. Looking forward to it. And I'm playing Ezrin, who is not a bard, but is actually a noble, which is a class you can find in the Lords and Lands supplement to The Witcher, and it is pretty awesome.
I also might add that you may or may not get that as part of the PDF. You may. As we jump right up to Billy. Billy, how are you, my friend, and who will you be playing?
I'm doing dandy. I am playing Whim of Gesso, and I am very excited because, again, looking forward to Tales Around the Campfire, a totally relaxing session of amazing roleplay about our childhoods, and no combat whatsoever, as we were promised at some point in time, which may or may not be this episode. I'm lying. We're gonna murder some stuff. Straight up murder. Super happy, super stoked to be here. It's been a long week, and I'm so stoked to play with these amazing people, this awesome game master, and of course the Legion.
Fantastic, my friend. Billy the Hype Man. As we end, last but certainly not least, with our friend Prax. Prax, how are you, and who will you be playing tonight?
I'm okay. I survived PAX. There was no con crud. Everything was great. And now we're here with this wonderful thing. And I'm playing Veron. And she's a mite concerned. Just a little bit. Just small amount.
Okay. Well, there's nothing to it but to do it, so let's bring up Roll20. Alrighty, as everything pops up here, we will see our brand new maps from Dynamic Dungeon. In fact, I'll throw that up in the chat, so anybody that would like to become a patron, I strongly recommend it. Whoops, maybe it is pluralized. Yes! So please follow that link, and you can see some or Dynamic Dungeon, you can see some absolutely fantastic animated maps that you can use for your virtual tabletop, or you can actually use them, as my friend does here, projecting them onto a flat screen TV and putting your miniatures on them, which, if you haven't done before, is super fun. But anywho, we are here, we are set. As we look around, thank you very much, Hawkeye, everybody gets some swallow from Hawk. So everybody make sure you give yourself 5 bonus points, 5 hit points here as we get ready to start playing. I will point out to everybody on the screen, right at this location, as it pings up on the map, we have Deucey facing off against somebody claiming potentially to be a witcher by the name of Ezekon of Kreve. This person is carrying the sword of their fallen friend Ezekon, and it is because of information given to them by Letho the Kingslayer that they arrived at this location. Speaking of Letho, he is back here with the rest of the group as they face Leshen. This creature has appeared. They wandered into the woods. It was part of a job that presumably this false witcher had been conscripted to do, and the party followed into the woods, dark and deep, to find this person, get questions or whatever they would like from them. But as Deucey and down here, Aris, were checking out what looked to be some type of totem, Deucey saw somebody in the distance, ran off to intercept them, was engaged in a fight immediately by a very skilled swordsman as this person spun around, locked blades, and as we ended our last episode, in that traditional lock of blades just inches from one another's nose, smelling of beggar tick blossom with discolored teeth but the glowing eyes of a witcher, the man leaned forward, looked at Deucey and said, "You're his friend, aren't you?" And that is where we're going to pick up what is happening right now. Deucey, I need you to roll some initiative for me, please, as the two of you are locked over here beside a very pleasant and still lake.
All right. So 14.
Okay, Jeffers is going to be going first.
God damn.
As he turns and spins the blade of your friend, Ezekon of Kreve, into an attack. The first one comes in with a 27 as lightning quick as the two of your blades locked. He spins away and you see that blade arcing behind in an ellipse as it comes back around his other shoulder.
Can I put some luck into this?
You sure can. Just
No.
let me know how much you'd like to put in.
Deucey tries to dodge this blade. Is there a limit to how much luck we can put? Just out of curiosity.
Not for me.
Okay, good.
But once gone, it's gone. It's and then like stamina, it'll come back. But
okay, I'm not going to put as much as I wanted. I'm going to put three luck.
Gotcha.
Into that dodge as he tries to outpace that blade. And that's not enough. That's an 18.
Okay, so I need you, if you would be very kind, to roll me a d12 as well as the damage comes in.
D12, here comes. That's a 9.
Okay, so with a 9, this is going to result in, as he thunders into, we'll see if this is actually going to be the target location, but it is your torso, as you feel your ribs crack from the blow of the blade against the side of your jacket and your leather armor. It cracks through, and I believe you have, is it 12 armor on your chest?
I think it's 14. I'll just take a look quick. On the torso, that says 16.
Okay, 16. So you're going to take, the difference is 5 plus 3 bonus damage for the critical. So that's 8 damage total, and you are -1 body as, -2 body as, you can feel your
He's hurt my body.
Yeah, you feel your ribs crack as he lashes into you. It's both cut and bludgeon as a bit of the flat of the blade skips away from the edge. You are able to move just enough to keep the edge from biting, but the power that this person is wielding is, for a Witcher to say something is otherworldly, I leave to you, but it certainly seems that way as he launches his second attack. 25.
God. Some good dice. Right, well, let's try again to dodge. I'm trying to outpace him once more. Might put some luck into this just
Absolutely.
for luck's sake.
Right.
2 luck. There we go. Yeah. Wow. This guy's good. This guy is good.
Roll me another D12 for me, please.
Let's see. It's a 6.
Okay, so with a 6, as he comes in, he slices and he hits you in the left arm. This is, your left leg was wounded before. This time, the same kind of offside. He's able to cut and bite into your arm. What's your armor on that side?
On the left arm?
Mm-hmm.
I think the left arm is still doing pretty good. Wait a sec. I seem to remember something about the left arm. No, that was the right arm. Ooh. Right arm is at 0. Left arm is at 13.
Okay, so with 13 damage down, that turns to 11, which is halved because of the arm. Down 2, and I always take it down below, so it's down to 5. Plus 3 for the critical, which is takes it back up to 8. So you take 8 damage again as he cuts into you. And as soon as he passes by, you can feel him go with the blade as he drags it along your flesh. And as he passes the wound, he spits in it. And you feel the wound begin to burn.
He just spit in my wound?
He just spit in your wound, my friend.
Man, no. Okay. Now it's on. All right. Okay. Yeah.
And because he did that, your ability to recover hit points is halved for right now.
You're kidding me. Neat trick.
And as he pulls back around, he turns and spins, and with a almost like a Conan-esque twirl of the blade, he stands and keeps himself ready, but he is waiting for whatever you have for him.
Good. At this point, Tusa is quite furious, infuriated by that scent of the beggar tick, and ecstatic at it having finally taken shape. He wants to rip this guy limb from limb, but he's got some training. He's going to use his sword. Actually, he's not going to engage this guy in swordplay because he doesn't think he's worthy of the sword he's wielding. So he will look at him in the eyes, and his own will begin to glow. And he'll say, we're going to be friends too. Close friends. And with that, he opens himself up to chaos. And the magic he finds there, he allows the flames of his anger to burn his fear to ashes. And he finds chaos and tries to create, using threads of water, invisible strings that will make this man his puppet. So that's the puppet sign, the one he tried to use on him before. Here. And he's going to invest, so that I think he's going to have to roll a resist magic. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, basic roll, detail roll. I just go for the basic roll, I guess.
Yes, yeah, the basic will do everything. Nice, roll it.
That's 24. That's critical. As he so roll the critical, yes, of course.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So that's a 9 on the critical. So we're up at 33. As Deucey is really pouring all of his energy into this. He's his anger has kind of made him throw caution to the wind. There's a sheen of perspiration on his brow. It looks as if he was lifting a boulder. He's putting so much effort, and that's going to cost him a lot of stamina. Right.
Deucey, you see as you flick the sign with your hand as the blood from the wound drips down your wrist, and as you're able to speak the words and pop off the sign, you throw it and you see the would-be Jeffers of Kreve as he hits for a second, and you see every black vein in his neck pop forward as his eyes begin to almost pool from his head. It's as if you're reeling in what he is through his eyes. And then you see him break free of what you are doing. But immediately as he does so, you see sweat almost burst from every exposed ounce of flesh on his body. You see him shake, and as he does so, black sweat begins to drip down his chin, and it beads and coalesces and falls, and you swear you can hear it ticking off of his armor as if it is turned into some type of hail. But he looks at you, and you can tell as these black tears come down his eyes that whatever you've done to him, while it didn't do what you expected, he was able to fight it off. You have done something to him. And as he looks and bites around it and the veins are still popped, he says to you, "He died on his knees."
Oh man, you spit in my wounds and then you say this. It's going down.
You have something?
Yeah.
You want to spend 3 stamina and do something else?
What does it look like this guy's about to do? Is he coming for me or what?
This is the beats between fighting, and so mechanically his turn's over. You were able to hit him with something. You know that he's going to do something next. He's definitely not preparing to run, but
so I'm going to put 3 stamina into a parry in case this guy comes for me again. Deucey has tasted this guy's skills, and he's definitely on the guard.
Okay, so what that'll do is that gives you +5 to whatever defensive rolls that you make.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
And one last thing.
Sure.
He'll shout in rage. So just to give the others maybe an idea.
So a perfect segue as Deucey roars in rage, challenge, general Deuceyness. As the camera pulls, almost following the sound into the air of the forest, it creeps over the couple hundred yards, and we drop down to the main host of the group as this creature explodes out of the woods. It is not moving. It is moving erratically as it jerks back and forth. The large antlers that are on top of its head are moving strangely as it whips and slows and whips and slows as it steps forward into the area. And as it does so, you see this explosion of vinage beneath all of your horses. And for some reason, as this thing steps out, and just as the roots begin to come up, all in the beat of seconds, you all hear a whisper from Letho. And you shouldn't be able to hear it, and it takes too long for this moment in time, but it is as if all of your ears and understanding slow down. And you hear as he says, The Lord of the Wood is an old god, and commands all the beasts and birds of the forests. Rivers will run dry, game will flee, and smoke will pour forth from the trees hiding wolves, wolves that overrun all that it touches. Fuck. Everybody, as these vines pop up from beneath your horses, it gives you a second. I am going to need you all to roll me a dodge escape to see if you can get out of this area.
Is that me as well?
No. I have something else for you, my friend.
And we don't have a +2 hanging out. I'm just, checking.
No. I'm sorry you do not.
That's fine. It's fine.
None of the silver.
Nice.
26.
15.
Alrighty. And so let me double check. I think you are all good. Actually, I've got a... Not true. Let me see. That's a fumble. Anything 16 or above. 16 or above, which I think is everybody but Trooper, correct?
Correct.
So let's make this legit too. Let's see how... Let's see. Get Letho. Bear with me as I pop out Letho's character sheet. Okay, let's get him. Yeah, he made it. So as everybody but Ezrin jump from the horses and jump off to the sides, Ezrin, you feel these vines wrap around ankle and calf, knee and thigh as you're almost pulled deeper into your saddle. You feel it kind of straddling you like a wishbone. It is uncomfortable to say the least as this power is pulling. You're being drawn and quartered with only one horse right now as this is happening. The rest of you are able to dive, and I will put you just out of the green stuff. And at this point, I would like everyone to roll me some initiative, please.
That's an 11. A very strong 11.
Nice. There's a bunch of those.
Before we get started with combat, would I be able to get some words out?
Absolutely.
In diving off the saddle, gets back up and looks at the Leshen. And then he hasn't drawn any weapons or anything. He just puts up an arm in caution. Leave the wolves out of this. There's no need for them to get hurt.
Roll me a... I can't use human perception here. Roll me some Witcher training right here.
You got it. That's under its own special thing.
Mm-hmm. It's on the skill tree section of the character sheet. Okay, you're not sure what's going on as you look at this creature, but I don't know what Wim's past has been with Leshens, whether it's just something studied or something experienced, but as the creature is jerking around and moving, it's creating this moan, and whether you're right or not, you don't know, Wim, but it sounds like pain. It sounds like a wounded animal. It sounds like a fox in a trap, or, a bear that has taken a tumble and broken a leg and it's festered and turned bad. It's that moan of knowing that death is coming. and it's just and as it just jerks and twists and moves in this very erratic behavior.
And then after sensing that, he'd like to, what do you need? What can we do?
Ezrin, you are up first. What would you like to try as you feel this pain begin to attack the lower half of you?
I say, we come to parley. We request parley.
I will let you roll an awareness here. It doesn't turn to you at all when you say anything. It doesn't even acknowledge that you've said a word. It just continues to move its erratic steps, carrying it out in front of your path. It's not seeming to target any one of you, but it doesn't look at you at all when you speak. That was a freebie. What else would you like to do?
Well, I don't want to start aggression against it, especially since we have a conversation going over there with a Witcher. So I'm going to try to disentangle myself from these vines, but not through sort of gingerly rather than violently, as it were.
Okay, so you're trying not to cut the vines? You're trying.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, right. Ew.
Like not like hack with the sword at maybe an extension of your body, but more like, hey, I've not consented to this relationship right now. Let me just move away.
Very good.
No quick motions.
Okay, so I tell you what, roll me a dodge or an escape here, but the DC's higher since you're already caught.
Can I make this can I do like take time? Like, can I take time to do this rather than like try to do it in one round, like sort of maybe get a bonus if I take multiple rounds to do so?
You mean kind of like work it into like get it ready and then jump free of it, kind of loosen it up a bit? Or I will allow you to spend 3 stamina and donate and kind of focus both of the actions on one lower DC chance to escape. How's that?
That's what I would like to do. I
Sure.
will do that.
I will
Because
do that
basically,
for you.
like, I'm gonna, like slow and steady wins the race, perhaps.
That's what
one
they
hopes.
always say in combat.
That's true. They're like, are you the quick or the dead? I was like, I'm the slow. Oh wait, that's not how that.
That's not
race
how,
goes.
yeah. But there you
20
go.
with a critical.
Roll it up.
Where's my crit? Okay, that's a 30.
Roll it again.
A 31.
Where do you want to go?
So like as since he's not paying attention to me, this creature, or she, it, they, since the creature is not paying attention to me, but instead paying attention to Wim, and I'm on my horse, what I'm going to do is sort of carefully, like with precision, right? The sort of not brute force, but sort of slowly have my horse sort of move one direction as I lean another, and sort of just carefully sort of move the vines like a little bit off this way, and then move the horse. It's like it's a little, so like these small little movements to sort of open up spaces, and then use that to then guide the horse out of the sort of the space that has been opened without damaging any of the vines, and move I think toward the strange Witcher that I do not know, so that we have 2 people on both sides. We don't have everybody. I don't want to leave this Witcher guest of ours by himself.
Oh, how nice of you. Letho appreciates it. If this were a Telltale game, Letho would remember.
So I'm going to put myself here, and I am going to, if I may, as part of this dismount, right, as part of this process of...
Sure, with a 31, you can tell me how you get there and It'll happen.
But it's like, I imagine it being like all about slow, subtle movements and precision, right? Like not like break free, but more like, all right, if this is how the vines are going, I can get my horse to sort of lower itself this way, move this way, I can move this way, and just sort of just slip out.
Oh my god, like Ezra's doing like the workplace thing where you all like join hands that you have to do for like team building.
Yes.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Right.
But in a medieval style, with horses, and also monsters, apparently.
So you are able to do just that, and you end up beside Letho, who is impressed by your ability to extract yourself from that situation. Not so much that he would offer any type of congratulatory response. His eyes are focused on the Leshen, but you're able to get over there. You're able to free yourself. The horse is down. You jump to the ground. Is there anything else that you would like to do as you look around? And as soon as you leave the space where the vines were creeping up, they slowly crawl back into the earth.
I'm going to look non-threatening, is what I'm going to do. Whether or not I am non-threatening is different, but I do not, basically, since we have not started combat with this thing, I want to make sure that it does not, that I do not read, or that our group does not read as aggressive. To try to, since we've been told these things are sentient, to try to de-escalate.
Sure,
but
sure.
being ready in case that de-escalation goes very, very poorly.
Absolutely. You are ready to act, but you don't look like you're ready to act, at least not in a bad way. As we go over to Billy's Whim, you would actually be, do you want to be in front of it? Because you were walking towards it, right?
I was walking towards it with like open hands.
Okay, we'll put you, now that the vines are gone, we'll put you right there so that everybody can see you a little bit better. You're no closer to it, but you can move as close as you'd like. It's, has those erratic, almost ridiculous movements as the arms are cracking. Hey, V, thank you. Welcome, Raiders. We're playing a little bit of The Witcher. We're up against the Leshen. It's bad news, but if you're wondering how brutal the system can be, stick around. I'm up soon. Whim, what would you like to do as you're moving towards it? It just continues those almost, train to Busan zombie motions.
He's going to look confused. He's going to look puzzled. So as he's approaching it, keeping a stance that would not inhibit movement to any particular direction, he's going to look at it with like gentle eyes, have open his hands and try to keep his party back, and just speak. We're here to help. The race of man is scum. Let us know how we can help heal. And he's going to hold his action until after the Leshen.
Okay, what action are you holding? Just defense or?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going to do like a parry move or something, since you didn't do anything else on your turn, and I don't want you to waste it, I will allow you to put your sword or your weapon in your hand if you would like, kind of like how Deucey ready to parry action, but you can do it. I know you want to do it as non-threateningly as possible. You can do that if you wish. Whatever you think. I don't want to take away agency. Tell me how you want to do it, and we'll work something out.
It seems he wants to make sure that this isn't, before he makes any sort of hostile actions, including drawing a sword, he wants to make sure that this isn't a spirit of nature that's in the right, that if there is hope, he wants to pour himself into that hope.
Gotcha. Love it. Gotcha. Okay, that takes us down to Prax. What does Varan do?
It looks like it's reacting to something, right?
It certainly does. You don't see any type of visible influence on it, but it is jerking and moving It's very difficult to tell. This is a very alien creature. For anybody that just joined us, a Leshen, if you're not familiar with the Witcher series, and it's a kind of a unique monster. It looks like a combination of bone and bark and tree with big antlers off of its head. Normally, it's very lithe. It's small. It's a smooth kind of operation when it moves. It's moving very erratically, jerking with joints that are popping, and it seems to be moaning as well in some form of pain. However, it did launch those vines at the party. But what does our sorceress want to do?
Do I see anything that looks like it's an active wound, a bleed, infection of some sort?
I will allow you to roll awareness.
Cool, thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Welcome. Oh,
Crit.
nice.
25.
With a 25 and a DC being 25, you notice beyond what anybody else has seen so far, and perhaps it is your training, as this creature looks up where its ocular cavities would be. You can't really necessarily call them eyes. You see a whisper of red, almost motes coming out of the eyes, like red. If somebody had stomped on a pretty active campfire and sent sparks into the air, it resembles that, just not as bright, as they list out to the sides and continue to go sideways, neither going up nor down. These motes seem to run parallel to the ground.
I don't like that. It looks like somebody's trying to mess with a friend. I should stop that.
Sure.
And she's just going to reach out and kind of flick her hand and dispel the magic that's affecting it.
Let's see what we can do, sure.
Because it'll affect anything within 10 meters.
Sure.
If I roll high enough. Oh, fumble. Good. It still goes off, but I take 1 point of damage.
Okay. It goes off, and the residual of the vines that are still there, you can feel them kind of shudder, but since they're already receding, you feel them kind of give away. Some of them kind of wither before they disappear. But as you cast that, the red motes continue to come from the eyes. But because you rolled high enough, I will let you know this: the source is not the Leshen.
Yeah, it's just one of the. She knows that she now has to break the spell on the Leshen. Well, that's all right. And she's going to turn and say, "Find the sorcerer, kill him if you can," loudly and very publicly, and not really caring if she pisses off somebody else.
Like the sorcerer?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, from the shadows.
That's rude.
How dare you? Okay, so let us then go to the Leshen as the Leshen moves and jerks, and from its distance, even a good 10 feet away from, 3 meters away from Wim, it shoots out one of its hands as the claws on it are almost hidden by its calf and knee, and as it turns and fires these long taloned fingers at you, let's see what it does. That's too much. It fires out with a 27 to hit you.
Do I have a... Can I take a dodge or...
Yeah, you held your action, so I will allow you to add 5 to whatever you want to do. I know you were... And normally you have to have your blade out to do so, but you were ready, so that's just 5. Just
okay.
Add it, yeah.
I'm going to try this for a reposition defense instead of just a straight dodge.
Sure, absolutely, that's fine.
All right, I'm going to put 3 points of luck into this.
Sure, I like it.
Oh!
So, almost in slow motion, as these 5 blades zip out and then slow down. Whim, as you turn, it actually takes about an inch off the bottom of your beard as you spin, as it almost, you can feel the power of this thing. It's as if you just dodged a train, because you did. And as you spin around, I will allow you to take any position you would like around this side of the Leshen. Or you can fall back, whatever you'd like to do. You don't have to remain in melee with it if you don't want.
All right, so I can't go, what is in the map, north of the Leshen?
Correct. This is where the attack came from, this way, so you're kind of limited to this bottom arc down here.
Okay, cool. So is that appropriate?
Perfect, yeah. If you want to, and you can, any further back you can too, within your movement. So
I'm gonna stay engaged.
Okay. So as it turns and looks at you, let me make sure it doesn't have anything else fun. Oh, it does. It's got 2 of those.
Double your pleasure. Double your
But it's a fumble. Hold on. Yep, so that's just an 11, my friend. As the second attack comes in, this time it's that one of those spasms hits it as the claws actually move from the trajectory they were coming from for you and hit the ground a bit. You can still make your roll, but it's only an 11. You would have to fumble and...
Well, in order to take it, do I have to burn a stamina to make a second defense?
You would, yes.
Sorry, so yeah, I'll just roll this, and then I'll lose a stamina.
Yeah, you're able to move away as the blades hit the ground. These fingered blades hit the ground and kind of drag for a second. And as you pull back up, and it looks at you, again, these motes coming out that you all can probably see now. Wim, you're close enough that you can see this kind of line of, lit dots as they come off the side of this thing's eyes. But that's where we are there as we go over to Eros down here. We're going to go back a few moments. Just a few beats, a few seconds, when this creature arrives. When the swords lock between Deucey and Jeffers, when violence descends upon this glade. I need you to roll for me, my friend. Let's see, what do I want here? I want a courage roll, please. It's under will.
Under will?
Okay. There it is. I am gonna spend 2 luck on this because I don't know what this is, and that scares me.
Sure.
So that's a 9.
You are shaken to your core. Not because you are attacked, not because you are experiencing pain, not because physical pain, but as you are looking at the totem, as you perhaps realize Deucey's gone, as you turn back towards your group through the trees and the brush that you came through back towards the road, all of a sudden, from inside of you, you hear a wail as tears erupts into a scream, and you hear, as clear as you've heard any words in your life, blistering both in your ears and in your head, "Eris, I hurt!" And you feel her begin to explode out of your skin. You see the wraith that lives within you flexing and moving, and you feel her being pulled from you.
Can I make any kind of action, or is that my turn?
You are shaken, but what I'm going to allow you to do is if you want to spend 3 stamina, I'll let you roll the courage again. Because this is Tears, and she is in terrible trouble.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Or if you can come up with something else that mimics courage, if you are willing to, you can make me a devil's bargain at any time, Josh. I take health. I take let's see, currency of trade. Everybody, let's lean in for a second. I take health. I take the
card.
life of your friend. What?
I say, okay, right. Is this a magical effect in any way? Is this like is this the thing that I know? I've kind of given it away to Ezra a little bit, but like, is this the thing that I know?
You don't.
Look, this.
You.
Because that's a Leshen that's doing a thing, and I know a thing.
No, this is not something that you would suspect in that type of capacity. This is brand new, and throughout all of your travels with Tears, you've never heard her act like this.
So it couldn't in any way be a resist magic.
I tell you what, I will allow you to roll a resist magic, but if you fail a DC of 15, I'm going to take 10 stamina from you.
Okay. All right.
I see your asshole move, Greg, and I raise you a... Okay.
I raise you this,
Right.
and I use this to click. Now... Okay. So, DC... Does a 28 tell you exactly how to go fuck yourself for trying to screw with my tears?
I have a good imagination, and it does. So, with that incredible roll, which I absolutely love,
the crits tonight have been insane.
Here's how this is going to play out for a crit, because I'm not just going to let you... I always love having more things happen with crits.
Oh, yeah.
So... as you're able to shake off what's happening to it, it's almost as if you assume the torment that Tears is going through. You're not sure how, perhaps it's a symbiotic relationship that you have, but you feel her get ripped out of your body. You see her get pulled out of your body, and she's never... Tears isn't completely ghost-like. She isn't completely insubstantial. She has some physicality to her. When she wants to be, she can be almost completely formed. She is right now as she pulls out. And because of your crit, you're able to reach forward as she is being sucked in this direction towards the water. And you grab hold of her arm and hand as her legs are ripped behind her, as you can see her hair that normally kind of is suspended as if it's underwater. It's being swept back too, giving her an odd kind of countenance because you've never seen her in that type of setting before. But as she looks up at you with this absolute plea, this visual plea for aid, you see these little red motes going sideways out of her eyes.
No.
Can I bring her back into me, or are we separated at this moment?
This is very much like You are clasping hands. You are holding on to the totem and holding on to her for like the totem for an anchor and then holding on to her. It is if some great force, whether it be natural as some type of riptide or a creature of like the Leshen itself pulling at her ankles, all you can do right now as part of your resist magic is you have a circuit that you are holding on to her. If you can think of something that you can do while maintaining your grip, you feel that as soon as you let go, she is going to be ripped away from you.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
God. Okay. Okay. All right. I need to check the ruling on something. It might be worth stepping away from me for a moment. I gotta think this through real quick.
You take your time. We were just, as the camera sees the two of them, Eros of Gesso, as Tears, the wraith that lives inside of his body, is screaming with these red dots, these red motes coming out of her eyes, being pulled away from him, out and away. Another yell pierces the air as that scream of rage that came from Deucey upon the hill. The camera turns from the Wraith and the Witcher, goes up the hill to a pair of Witchers. Deucey, you are standing again with Jeffers as he, covered in this dark, inky sweat, attacks.
Right. Deucey's gonna keep his blade lowered in a fool's guard, because that's how much respect he has for the guy.
Okay, so that's a 17. If you would you go ahead and roll me your defense with your +5 parry? Because if you get above a certain thing, we do a certain thing.
Oh yeah? Okay. Okay, defense. It's just it's a dodge button, right?
Yes, please. And you get +5 to it, so.
Cool.
Unless you're parrying.
That's 21.
Okay. Which is a 20. Yeah, I'm going to take it parry or swordsmanship, whatever you'd like to use. I'll just add a +5 to it. It's easier that way for us to do it.
Okay.
So, as that happens, let me see where my...
Oh, I see. Oh, well, got it anyways.
All right, let me get... Where's my fumbles? There we go. All right, so...
Yeah, he's just going to sweep his blade aside if the guy tries to strike him, coming up from that fool's guard. I'll try to knock the blade aside.
All right. Here's how this is going to work. You roll some damage. Tell how you knock the sword of Ezekon of Kreve back into Jeffers of Kreve.
Oh, really? Right, okay. Oh, that's with the sweep to knock it aside. Well, instead of knocking it away from his opponent, he'll knock it toward him. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess he would meet his blade as he lowers it to strike, and he'll knock it right into his I'll try to knock it into his neck, but something like that.
It comes in at neck level, and he's able to kind of redirect it with the flat of his own hand just at the last second, but it bites into his side as it twists almost completely back on his sword arm. He actually has to let go with his right and grab the hilt with his left, but you see it draw blood beneath the breastplate, like right in his armpit area. You see as it draws through and blood begins to come out and kind of soak the side of his metal plating. As he turns back around and fires another shot in at you. That one's a 28.
Oh my god! Oh my god. Let's see how much. Well, Yeah. That's 28. I don't even know if I should use luck for this one. It's looking so insurmountable. Got 3 luck left. No luck. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. Good thing I didn't put it. It's a 13, so I managed to dodge that one.
Roll me a d12.
It's a 3.
Do.
Oh man, I don't like the sound of those pages.
I can't remember if a 12 or a 1 is what you're looking for.
The lower the better. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good.
This
Right.
is the left leg that you wounded before. And as Jeffers comes in this time, he, upset with how you redirected his own blade back on him, he turns around and sweeps it with his in his left hand. He hasn't returned it to his right grip, but he sweeps it across at the leg directly in front of his left arm, and you feel it bite deep into your leg. What is your armor on your leg? Is it 14?
Which leg?
Left leg.
Oh, the left leg. Sorry, the left leg is at 0.
Why is it at 0?
I have no idea why it's at 0.
It shouldn't be. It should be at like 14. It should be the same thing as the rest of your, because you're wearing your Lyrian leather. So it should be, you have Lyrian pants on too, which are the same.
Okay, 16.
16? Okay. So that takes it down to 5, which takes it down to 2, half because of the leg. But be right back. You take an additional 8 damage as the critical comes into play, and you feel your leg break
All right.
from the force. You hear
Oh,
it.
shit.
You hear your leg give. It's not compromised to the point where you have fallen down, but you have felt your leg give right around the knee. You're not sure if the joint went or a bone broke, but you, with all of your weight now on your right leg, the left leg is compromised. And so your speed, your dodge, and your athletics are all halved.
Okay, so how? I'm trying to bring down these values here in my character sheet. First, I lost 2 body, but I can't take it down.
If you look at on the main sheet, there's a gray box that says stat modifiers.
Right.
If you put it in there,
Okay.
it'll do it for you.
All right. Hold on. Stat modifiers. Okay. I see stat modifier notes. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, -2 on body, and then how much more?
It's going to have your speed,
It's gonna have
half your athletics, and half your dodge.
speed. Okay. Speed is let's see,
Is that half your what you add, or like you roll it and then half it?
No,
Okay.
yeah, it's the stat itself is cut in half.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how to half my athletics yet, but I'm working on it.
Sure. Yeah, I'll jump over there and help. You can just, whatever it is right now, you can draw it down on the tab just to make sure that, you eventually move it back up. If it's 8 now, take it down to 4. If it's 2, take it down to 1. Just make sure that you remember, at some point you'll be able to fix that back up.
Okay. So half. All right. Well, Deucey will just grit his teeth and try not to give the man the satisfaction of him yelling. But I guess that's a bit of a stretch.
As he looks, he heard the crack too, as he heard it. And you see him hop back as he gets about 3 meters away from you, about 10 feet, 9-10 feet. And he takes the sword and lazily puts it up on his shoulder as he starts to kind of walk in an arc with the rest of his turn. And he says, "It's getting to be too easy to kill you and your kind, Witcher. I might have to find harder prey."
Oh boy.
It is your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. He's gonna look at this guy and snarl, and spit in contempt. Having changed his mind about trying to take over this guy's mind, since that somehow that wasn't working, and realizing that he's once again forgotten his helmet, Deucey will turn his palm down towards the ground, and tapping into chaos, he'll pull forward threads of earth to summon a shield. So that's Quen. And he's going to put his maximum vigor into that. And since he is a Griffin Witcher, he can go pretty far. And I've invested into his magical source skill. So I can put 6 stamina into this. And so, sweat pouring down from his brow, he'll draw energy to create a shield around him. And if he can, he'll put a bit more around his head. And having done that, how far away is this guy?
He moved back about 9 feet, about 3 meters.
3 meters?
Just enough where it'd be tough to hop to him.
Right, to hop to him. Okay. And if I see correctly here on this map, is his back to some kind of boulder or something?
Yeah, there's boulders and
Right.
about a little slope down into this wide mountain lake.
Lovely. And so at that point, Deucey will make another sign, the sign of Ard, ear, and he'll shoot a wave of telekinetic force, trying to stagger this man. Oh fuck! Sorry, man. I just saw the range. I thought it was 8 meters, and it's 2 meters. So
no, I like where you're going, JF. Hold on, let's talk for a second.
Can I hop forward a meter?
Absolutely. I like this very much, and I like the fact that you're working with the signs here. But I tell you what, if you want to give it a shot and you want to kind of throw your body into this and like reach out with a force, I'll take double the stamina for the Ard.
Okay.
And we'll do it. Let's do that. And then give me I know that your athletics is halved here, but give me an athletics roll anyway, just so I can get an idea of how far you can make it.
Okay. So, okay. Now I was looking for that athletics. Is that under body? I know. Okay. No, that's.
It's under dexterity.
Under dexterity. Okay. There. Okay. So basic roll. Here we go. That's a 19.
Okay, and the stat that would have been, let's see, taking 4 off of the stat would be down to 15. Still enough as you're able to throw yourself forward with the Quen kind of surrounding you, and you fire off the Ard. Roll me a spell casting ability here, please.
I'll fire strands of air and spell casting. Here we go. That's a 23. Ah, man.
He plants himself, and as you hit him with the TK, that telekinetic force, you can see his boots move in the loose rock here about 2 or 3 inches, and he just shakes his head as he puts his sword away in its sheath and looks at you. The hard way, then.
Oh, yeah.
As we cut back to the group. As we go back to the group and the Leshen, 2 things happen. You hear a wail of rage absolute coming from a nearby hill. It sounds like Deucey, no need for a roll. You hear a wail of rage and terror. It doesn't sound like anyone you've ever heard before, but it's coming from Eros's position. But we start with Ezran.
Varon said to kill the sorcerer. I would like to, and I'm not an expert, but it seems as if there's proximity situations. If, like, you probably can't cast spells from miles away, so most likely there was got to be some sort of sorcerer within the proximity. I would like, and I don't know how sorcerers work. Perhaps they're invisible. I don't know how that works. Like, maybe they're hiding or invisible. Who knows? So I would like to scan my sector, sort of look in the area, and I want to see if maybe I can perceive. And I want to, it's 2 things. One, I want to use all of my senses for this. Smelling, listening. I want to sort of see if I can either see the sorcerer if they're not invisible, if maybe they are invisible, see if I can see displacement. I want to see if I can find where this sorcerer might be that is doing something bad. I don't know if I can, but that's what I would like to do.
Sure. Roll me an awareness.
Because maybe there's like a sorcerer in town. 22.
You look around and you don't see anything that would speak of someone being invisible or someone in hiding or, somebody behind a bush with a magic wand or anything like that. But
I don't know what sorcerers do.
I don't know either. So as you're looking around, as you're looking around, you do, however, see as your gaze sweeps in this direction, because Deucey and his opponent are, as mentioned before, on a rise, on a hill. And you see and bear witness to the strike that breaks Deuce's leg, as you see Deucey fall back from this quick strike. And for a moment, as the man stands there, nothing about him speaks of Ezekon, but with that blade in his hand, as you, Ezekon's father, see this, you can't help but be remembered or reminded of your son. But you see that Deucey is in terrible trouble.
I will shout to the group, Deucey needs our aid. And I will book on sort of moving south of Letho, so that I'm sort of moving. I'm not going to run right by the Leshen and say, hey, give me a high five. I'm going to avoid the Leshen and head as quickly towards Deucey as I can. I suppose the question would be, thinking about distance, would it be faster for me to do this on horseback?
In all likelihood, yes, but the horse is going to have to go by the Leshen. The horse isn't going to be able to go through the woods. Like, Eros had to leave the horse with no name to go into.
Well, we've got to help Deucey. So I'm going to,
Oh, okay. I tell you what. No, I just saw that in chat, everybody. Here's what we're going to do. It is time for us to take our break, our mandated by Twitch, be right back. So what we're going to do is, as we pause for a moment, as Ezrin, the former lord of this land, decides exactly what his next move is going to be, we are going to decide what our next move is going to be. We're going to hydrate bio, and we're going to be right back, Legion. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back in less than 5. See you in a bit.
Of course.
Hello, Legion. We are back as we are in a very, very tense battle. One of the several people have problems right now. I guess the greatest of which, the physical trauma, would be JF's character Deucey, who has just had his leg broken in combat with a new person, Jeffers of Kreve. And then we also have another Witcher, Eros of Gesso, played by Josh, whose incorporeal wraith traveler / partner is being ripped from his body as he is trying to hold on to her. A lot of fun things happening. Those events are here with Deucey and here with Josh. So let me put that back up. But those are the people that are in trouble. I am going to ask Trooper Ezrin, former lord of this very land that we are walking, what do you do?
I just want to recap. I see Deucey, the man who stood up to cut down Sheila Loon's body after it had been so desecrated, take a terrible blow to the leg, and it looks not good. Yes.
I can't give away anything, but it don't look great.
It doesn't look good, and the person who did it seems to be the one who's impersonating my son in such a blasphemous way. This is also correct?
This is also correct.
And the distance is quite far to get there by normal means.
You would have to be traveling incredibly fast.
I see. Well, and also we heard a terrible, terrible shout, like some awfully terrible cry of someone in distress, also not far.
Correct. That was closer coming from Eros's position. Correct.
So it seems bad all around.
Again, I offer no insight other than it doesn't sound good.
Well, I am going to reach into my messenger bag, and I'm going to take out a small vial, small vial, and I'm going to crush the vial in my hand and inhale the dust in the vial. And as I do that, I'm going to throw off my cloak and my weapon. Basically, it's as much as I can sort of ditch as quickly as possible as I inhale this strange substance in this vial.
And what happens?
As I quickly try to disrobe, my skin starts to darken and starts to sort of crack. And then my hands, the fingers, start to elongate and lengthen. And then I start to grow large, and my ears start stretching outwards. And I start getting sort of strange hair growing and fangs, lots of sort of a huge maw worth of fangs. And then my body the bones themselves start to crack as they elongate. And I get huge, huge talons. And my eyes sort of become beady. And I no longer look at all human. I look like something unnatural with some spikes where my shoulders were, gaunt, leathery. I look like an undead beast, and about maybe like 2 meters tall, perhaps. And I look... well, Witchers would probably know what I look like. Other people may not, but I have this supernatural quietness. Although I think the Witchers would no longer be able to sort of sense me, I sort of just go off the grid and seem no longer to be clockable as this strange undead beast moves with a rapid quickness, with a kind of body movement that is disconcerting, just sort of moving through shadows. I will move with a very fast quickness up towards the hill.
And I have replaced your token, my friend. As you, and I'll take you here, as you truck through the woods, I'm assuming heading towards Deucey.
Deucey. Mm-hmm.
Roll me an endurance. You have a secondary character sheet that you should be able to see.
I do have a secondary character sheet. Hello, Endurance. Where do you hang out? There you are. "21.
As you jump and lope through the trees, grabbing limbs and grabbing trunks and spinning and bounding off of each one to get as much height and as much speed and force, using gravity for you instead of against you, as you rush towards Deucey, as you see Deucey's shield go up, the TK blast that fails, you see the arrogance of the person across from him, and still with the dust and ash of your son's pyre just beneath what was your nose, licking off of you the remnants of Ezekon of Kreve, the remnants that you inhaled that made you what you were. I'm going to allow you to attack, my friend, or do whatever you would like as you reach there quicker than any human could.
I am going to sort of leap over Deuce's body with my long claws and sharp fangs gleaming in this bright day. I'm going to launch my sort of bat-like body over him towards this imposter. And I am going to sort of take both of my claws and rend his body. And that's 2 attacks, I believe I get.
It is, my friend.
I will take my 2 melee. And I will make this guttural cry that sounds as if it's coming from long dead vocal cord, focal folds. Like, as these claws come from nowhere.
Also, my friend, I am going to give you +5 on this, because this Witcher didn't hear you coming either.
That will be, yeah, because you don't notice me. Like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. That'll be a 32 for the first strike. And
+5 on this one too.
And a 31 for the second strike.
Jeffers is going to attempt to dodge. Fails the first one. Succeeds on the second with a critical. Let's see just how well he succeeds. 39. So roll me some damage though for that first one as you strike into Jeffers of Kreve.
All right. That will be an 18 and a 50% bleed chance.
You want to see 0 to 50.
Just a...
Let's roll where you target location. Strangely enough, it is the left leg.
The same leg.
The same very leg that And let's see.
And I would like to be between him and Deucey.
And let's see, with a 5, that first one was a 32. Roll me a d12, please.
I will. And I have my back to Deucey, even though, he doesn't know who I am. Nobody. It's fine. A 1.
Re-roll that. He deserves something else. He deserves something.
A 4.
As you come in, to make sure I get the total damage that you did was what?
That was an 18.
Okay, plus 5 for a critical is a 23. The leg will be halved down. It gets absorbed by his armor. However, as you go for the left leg, he puts the sword arm, the sword that he's carrying in his left arm, down to defend it, to block it, almost as if he's trying to get the hilt down to punch as you are biting into him. Or are you using your claws or your bite?
Claws. Bite will come later.
Right, as he tries to get down and intercede the sword in the metal between your attack. Surprised is not the word for it, as you were able to shell shock him, but he's able to react just on muscle memory alone. However, the power that you wield now, you hear his wrist snap as it gets between your claws and the leg, and as it snaps, you see the sword on the ground for a second.
And there's a look of hunger in my beady eyes that says to this man that he seems like he might be tasty.
I think you convey that well.
I hope it makes him disconcerted, because it should.
He is not happy about it. And as we leave the hillock and the now 3 people that are on top of it, let's go back.
2 people.
I'm being okay. Yes. You and Deucey. Let's go back to Wim. Wim, you are in front of the Leshen. It is raging. You hear these screams go off. You feel something brush past you, almost like a wind that is whipped up. You don't sense anything, though. And not to take any agency away, your attention's the Leshen, but the screams, of course, grab your attention as well. What do you do, my friend?
I'm gonna hold my action again until after the Leshen.
Okay, same thing. You're gonna go defense?
Yep.
Okay. Prax. What do you do, my friend?
Well, I know the son of a bitch is here, and I'm gonna find him. So she's gonna move at speed this way, and then she's gonna cast a spell again, hoping to catch whatever's fucking with this Leshen. And as
go ahead. I'm sorry.
And as she does so, she also gestures with her left hand, and Frostfang is there. And she uses that. You see it start to glow. And I just need to beat his spell casting.
Roll me your spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to work for your dispel, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. It's a 30.
30's pretty good. Again, I'm going to tell you this. With a 30, though, you can still feel that whatever's at play isn't in range, but you feel the pull coming from the lake.
He's not within my 10 meters? Cool. Good to know.
That would put him, though, whoever this person would happen to be, the source of this is coming from the lake. Not the borders of the lake or the shore of the lake, I'll give you that.
Like-
With a 30, I'm giving you, it's inside the watery borders of the lake.
All right. Well, she feels that one didn't work. She's going to spend 3 stamina and move closer and say, fuck you. I don't get to play around with anything here. And I'm going to move to here. And I'm going to do it again.
Before you do, roll me an awareness.
Cool. $20.
You see maybe 50 yards out into the water, a little rise, like a little, almost like a sandbar-ish type of thing in the lake. There's no way to get to it. It's kind of some type of silt buildup, but you see what appears to be the very tip or the very edge of an obelisk of a place of power.
Good to know.
It is glowing red.
Do I think he's coming from there?
You know whatever is happening on land is coming from there, because 30s are fucking dope. And I say a lot whenever somebody gets a 30.
Well, in that case, Wim, he's not here. We're going to have to take a little bit of a walk. And I'm going to spend the 3 stamina, and instead of casting that,
Please
you
do
see
it.
her.
I know what you. Please do it.
She lets her hair fall back, and in her right hand, suddenly there's a second staff. This one's older. It's driftwood with a white, silvery cap and a sapphire sitting on top. And she takes both staves in her hands, and she slams them to the ground. And she casts Standing Portal to the goddamn fucking sandbar.
Alrighty.
And I can see that.
Right.
So my DC is lower.
Sure. But I get to do this because I'm allowed to do fun things whenever.
Uh-huh. What are you... Oh, you're doing that thing?
Doing that thing.
Oh, that looks screw dope. I love this.
So as you cross, you see the portal spin open, and on the other side of it is the little sandbar with the place of power only looking like it's a few feet away.
That's a 31. I'd roll poorly.
That looks fucking cool, man.
What do you do as you see this? Are you just trying to dispel the place of power? Like, are you going for...
Well, I know that the place of power itself can't be just affecting them. There needs to be someone controlling it. I'm gonna hold the door and let Wim fuck somebody up.
Okay.
Because unless I think I can dispel from here.
You would have to do it your next turn.
Yeah, exactly. Do it my next turn. But anyway, either way, I'm gonna hold the door.
Okay, so the Hodor jokes are there, but I'm not going to use them. I'm not doing them. And as you cross the staves and the portal opens, as you open a standing portal, which is pretty tough, let us go to the Leshen, as again with its jerky movements, it attacks Wim with a 17. Oh, but that should be a 21 with a 21.
All right, I'm going to burn 1 point of luck on this repositioning defense.
$21 goes to the defender. And the second one, I'll make sure I put that in this time.
Is that good enough of a distance for a move?
Perfect, yep.
Kind of like out of its melee range.
It steps forward. Still, you don't think it's in melee range, but its arms are like branches. and they just continue to shoot and lengthen and elongate as they come forward, and it attacks with a 23 this time.
All right. I'll burn my remaining 2 points of luck on this. Can I reposition twice?
I will allow it.
Okay. And then I'll burn a point of stamina for the second defense as well. Oh, I mean, it didn't matter on that first roll, but with holding my action and using it for defense, do I get that +5 on the first one?
Oh, you get it for, yeah, you didn't use it on the first one, so I let you roll first, and then if you need it, we'll add it to it, so it doesn't, you don't waste one on one that you kind of bust out and do well on.
27 naturally. So.
Yep. So, yeah, it's gone now, but you were able to parry on your own and dodge on your own as this thing continues to try to swing and hit at you. But I'll let you roll Witcher training for me.
Let me roll that Witcher training. Okay. $20.
You remember that 20 Witchers. You remember that Eros, whenever you were all kind of discussing the possibility of it being a Leshen, how the birds of the forest, the creatures of the forest, even you yourself said, leave the wolves out of it. You realize that at this point, you haven't seen anything like that from this creature. And from any story that you've heard or recounted, especially among the 3 Witchers on the way here, it should have happened by now. But this creature has not summoned anybody to its aid. Perhaps it heard you. I leave that up to you, Billy. But we cut. Go right ahead. I'm sorry. No, go right ahead.
But yeah, so realizing that this would not be typical behavior, and seeing like the red eyes with the motes, something's amiss.
And as we pull away from a sorceress who is opening a portal and a witcher who is realizing that something is amiss, Eros, you are holding on and you are losing your grip.
I let go of the totem. And I presume start to get it pulled in that direction.
You do. You get pulled about 6 inches, and you feel a powerful hand wrap around the one that you just let go of as Letho grabs you and anchors himself to the totem.
Does he grab my arm?
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Something's dragging. Like, I can't really hide this. Something's dragging her towards the lake. I need my arm.
Letho's narrow eyes widen as he simply states the obvious. That's a fucking wraith.
So you are aware of what's going on? Because your lack of involvement in this has kind of had me wondered if you could actually fucking still see. And I want to try and like pull my arm free. It's like, there's no way I can out wrestle Letho, but like I'm like, get off my arm.
Letho waits for a second. Just a beat. This, I mean, it seems like a while, but this is the moments between moments. And Letho lets go of the totem, but does not let go of you. And all 3 of you are being pulled towards.
Okay.
We are going to say that within seconds, you are pulled out into this area, unless you want to do something before that.
I want to do something, but I need an arm free, and this fucking douche has my arm, and I really, really need an arm free for this.
He moves up and grabs the strap of your leather.
Fine, that's absolutely fine. You can trash my leather all you want. I'm gonna reach. I want to take my meteorite dagger, which has certain properties: blue meteorite, dagger, magic absorb, that kind of thing. And I want to take it, and I want to use it to cast Axii on Tears to try and negate some of the effect. It seems to be a fear kind of thing. I want to see if I can calm her through it. But for added flavor, and because of the bond we share and the body we share, I will take my dagger and I will actually cut the symbol of Axii into the back of the hand that is holding onto her, and then use the blood and that, and I will take damage from it. I'm fine with that, but I want to use it to cast Axii on her. And as I do so, I say, I told you. You go, I go. I'm not giving up on you. And I want to try and pull her back into me, but I want to like go together right at this thing.
Okay. You want to maintain the momentum though. You want to go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Letho is along for the ride at this point, but he bears witness to everything you're doing. Anybody that would be looking in this direction would see a very odd sight. Even by Witcher standards, it would be odd, and by sorceress and the crazy cursed people, it would be interesting. As you get pulled out, then I would like you to roll me spell casting as you cast this to see what you can do. And
Okay.
2 damage is all you'll take.
For extra, but like I'm giving you as much of a devil's bargain as I can here, because this is important to me. I will also roll for the bleed, because my poignard does bleed damage, and there is a chance that this could also do bleeding. So it's 25%.
Sure. So
I want over 25.
correct. There you go. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, spellcasting. It's just 2. It's not great. I will put 1 point of luck into it. That's all I've got. Is it a basic roll?
Yes, basic, please.
Okay. 15. Holy shit, that's a high roll for me.
Okay, with a 15, I'm going to say that as you're being pulled at a great speed now, and as soon as you get pulled to the water's edge, you are above it. You are being pulled with so much force that you're not even dragging along the ground or anything. You're being pulled above the ground as you get whipped out and towards the distance. About 50 yards out, you can see the tip of this place of power. As soon as you hit the shore, Letho lets go. He slides.
Can he see the giant standing portal that I put there?
They would all be able to see it, yeah. With that weird kind of like, hey, there it is, and there it's like sideways, and you can't see it, and then you can see the back of it, because it's almost imperceptibly flat. But yeah, everyone can see it spinning there.
I mean, want to go through?
What, to Letho?
Either.
They
I can't adjust my course. Like,
Eros, as soon as you get pulled out over the water, you can see that Tears is calming a bit, but that the motes are still coming off of her eyes. As she looks back at you, you're almost locked together as you're still flying, the bleeding hand allowing her to calm a bit. And when her eyes reach yours, the hair now kind of whipping forward as it's being pulled with such force behind her. If we get separated, the star, meet me at the star. That's all she gets a chance to say.
Sorry, that was Alexa just very loudly shouting reminders at me.
Awesome.
Okay. I can't join with her at the moment.
She can't. She's actually as solid as if you've ever felt her.
Then I want to do something slightly stupid. I want to take the stone. Now I know it's a place of power, because I didn't know this going into this. And I want to take the hand that's holding her, and I want to reach for the stone, slap it in her hand. Because this worked last time for the thing. Yep. I give it to her, and at the same time, I want to basically, I don't know what that thing is that you do where you hold on to each other and one of you like, fastball special. I want to fastball special myself past her at this thing.
Roll me a, shit, no, this just works. It's awesome. So I will, yeah, I mean, it's, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to have an athletics roll here because
that's
as
fair.
soon as you let go, the pull isn't there on you.
Okay. Okay. It's a 17.
You are able to kind of shoot past a little bit as you kind of swan dive into the air, heading towards this place of power. We're going to pause there as you are in the air, and we are going to go back up on the hill overlooking this increasingly odd scene as Ezekon of Kreve is reacting to the person that has arrived, and he sees everyone kind of rush out of the forest. The Leshen standing there doing its macabre dance as he looks down and then looks back up at the person he doesn't know is Ezekon across. And he casts a sign and thrusts it at Ezekon. Ezekon, I'm going to need you to...
It'll be bad, I know. Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I need you to roll me a... I believe this is a resist magic here for me, please.
Okay. I have a question.
Sure, I love those.
I have a bonus to resist magic
Sure.
in my human form as a skill that I have.
Yeah.
It's not a huge bonus, it's a bonus. Do I still get it?
For the same reason that you don't have a bonus for talking with human beings anymore.
I don't know why. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Sorry.
I was just asking.
You never hurts to ask.
It never hurts to ask. I'm going to try to resist magic, but this could be very bad for me. A 20.
As soon as you arrived, with the hand that is no longer carrying a sword, the symbols flash up, and with a push, you feel yourself being launched backwards through the air, as much like what was attempted on him, Ezekon of Kreve is able to blast you back from whence you came, and using his non-broken hand, he reaches down and picks up Ezekon's blade, and still maintaining the distance with Deucey, he shakes his head, sees the emergence of at least 2 other Witchers, and with a smirk, "I'll kill you later." And he turns around, because I can.
No, he's going to die. I don't know what this like escaping sort of a thing is about. None of that.
Can I
No.
see that?
They're up on the hill.
So yes.
So, yes. I'll
He
take.
t-
I'll let you take an awareness on your turn. Sure.
Never mind then.
Because we're on a hill. We're obvious.
He turns, he trips, he falls on his sword, fucking dies.
All this happens, right? As he begins to walk through this portal. However, I will allow Deucey to roll me an awareness, as Deucey can see through the portal. This would help if I was on this.
He is no witcher.
Yeah, it's a 17.
You see a figure hooded inside, just inside this portal, and you can't make out anything other than this lone figure. And as Ezekon of Kreve, kind of cradling that left wrist that was broken, moves in and slides Ezekon's sword into the scabbard above the silver blade that he wears. What's that?
He's just going to call him a dog, but keep going.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, the dog rings out.
Not just going to watch him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can say whatever you'd like as he's backing up, and this dark inky sweat is coming off of him heavier as it's running in rivulets and dripping off of his jaw as his back bows a bit as he backs into the area. And as he passes in, you see for just a moment, as he passes in and into the atmosphere of this portal, you see his breath catch as if the region where he is going is cold. And then it and he disappear. But we'll go back with the group, unless there's anything you would like to do, Deucey, because this is your turn. You are still standing.
I can still do something. I
Yeah.
can act?
Yeah.
Yeah, I call him a dog and a coward as he goes away. And, other sticks and stones, big ones, sticks and boulders, whatever. I mean, so he doesn't care, but he's going to look at Ezran. I want, he doesn't know it's Ezran. Witcher training, what is this?
Ezran, what is this?
This is a catacon, which is a form of vampire. It's undead, and it is invisible to sort of magical detection, and often goes in vittles and murders lots of people. It's an undead vampiric monster.
All right.
Just in case and it's quite bestial, right? It doesn't look like a nice. It's not sparkly.
What's this undead monster doing at the moment?
Has just been flung backwards.
Yeah, it's been flung backwards. That's true. So it's not even there. Where is it? It's down the hill. Where is it?
It's a little bit down the hill. You can definitely still see it, Deucey. So everything described to you, the trooper just described, you can see, but it's
got these huge, long bat-like ears, because it's more like bat-like than human, right? So like large, sort of bat-like, fanged.
A lot like Man-Bat from the old Batman.
Yeah.
All right. Deucey is going to drop his sword and draw his bow. And pull out a silver arrow.
Absolutely. I'll even let you take a shot.
All right. I'm gonna make it a. Let's see. I mean, dropping the sword, drawing the bow. How are you gonna rule on that? Can I go? Am I gonna get minuses on my shot here?
I'm gonna let it. It's gonna take one of your fast actions. I'm assuming
like
it's
a quick draw.
Yeah, I'll let you take a instead of 2 fast action attacks, instead of the negative, you just lose one of those. How's that?
Okay. Here we go. So it says extra action. I say no. Okay, well, hold on. Short bow. Boom. Point blank. No. How far? Am I at medium?
Medium range, yep.
Medium. And target location. I'm gonna aim for the leg.
Lot of leg shots today.
Yes. Just be on the safe side. Well, no, just to get him so he doesn't come charging at me. 14 on the roll.
With a 14, I need a dodge from Ezekon of Kreve.
I would like to dodge. I submit a dodge. 31.
Oh boy.
I'm very lithe and bat-like.
He curses. He curses. What the fuck?
Ezekon, again in this state, it's kind of hard to the beats kind of bleed together a bit, and everything's not really the same way that we would process, a narrative as a thinking being. But as you kind of land from all of this that has happened, you realize you have an arrow in your hand that you have grabbed.
And I just crack it in half with my hand.
All right.
And I look at Deucey with my evil undead vampiric eyes. And in your mind, you hear, "Halt. It is I, Ezekon." Just in your mind.
All right.
And I will go invisible.
Are you gonna go invisible? All right.
I'm gonna go invisible.
Deucey, as soon as you see and you hear this contact, these beats going on as screams people are being pulled out into the lake, portals are being opened, as this creature claims to be Ezekon, as you are locking eyes but hearing in your mind, you notice that these red motes are starting to come off of this creature's eyes very slowly, like drifting embers.
And so Deucey can see the others as well.
Yes.
And so this creature has disappeared. Before it disappeared, there was the embers. If I still have movement, I'm going to start making. Deucey's going to start making his way down the hill, cursing.
Letho will move to meet you, not to help you, but simply point with weapons. What the fuck is going on?
Trying to find out.
That's not good. He doesn't. Let's go back to the group as we have Ezekon, you just turned invisible. I'm going to leave that for now because we had some of your actions in here. Billy, you are at the water's edge in front of the portal with Baron. What do you all do here? You have been given orders, so to speak, but I will allow you both to act together since you are back to back here. So just like I did with Deucey and Ezekon, I will do so with Billy and Prax. So what would your characters like to do?
So I'm facing the Leshen, and then I look over my shoulder. Are we all going, or just me?
We're all going. It's just, I thought you might want to go first because whoever's fucking shit up is on that side. I mean, I could go first and make Frickus' day. It's been a very stressful day.
I'll take it. Just watch out for the Leshen. And then turns around and braces himself and leaps through the portal.
Roll me an awareness as you leap through the portal, and basically within just a beat, you are in front of the submerged place of power.
Okay. Awareness is intelligence. 23.
On top of the place of power, you see a pile of dust that is emitting red motes. It's perfectly piled in a little pyramidal. And at the very top, almost like a little smokestack, these little red motes are coming out.
And how small is this little sandbar thing?
As soon as you hit, you go up to about your waist, and you're staring at what would be a normal height place of power. So you're submerged up to about, and Wim's pretty tall, so your waist is like someone else's chest. But you're staring at this place of power. You're not sure, because this is a murky lake, you're not sure how deep it goes or how long it stays at this depth to the left or right or behind you, but you know that at least until where it hits the stone, it should stay at the same depth.
All right, I'm gonna blow at the pile of ashes.
Let me change my music.
Cool, that's neat.
Let's go with Eros. You're flying through the air. You're almost there. But Wim's there, appearing out of nowhere. And you see him rear up as if it's his name day. And you see the dust puff being caught by the winds that are whipping across this mountain lake. And you hear tears scream in joy absolute. She stops being pulled into this place of power. Those of you that turn your back on this site out in the middle of the lake would see the Leshen slowly retreat into the woods. And as soon as it enters the woods, wolves begin to rush around it. An entire murder of crows lands among its antlers. No longer is it jerking, spasmic with spasms and sharp movements. Again, it is a part of nature. And within a step, 2, 3 into its woods, it disappears. You're out in the middle of the lake. As Eros, you may land any way you'd like, but Wim, you bear witness to the ending of an event. And inside the circle that is cut in the place of power, what was glowing a kind of constant red dims until it is just stone.
After he sees that things have kind of done and that only his brother is nearby, not particularly questioning how he got there, but turn around and go do something real quick, and then he unbuttons his pants and begins to urinate in the sandbar.
I skip the water surface once, like literally like skip across it and probably hit the place of power, like just straight into it, because that was like my intended. I was using all my momentum to go towards it, and just because the pull stopped, my inertia doesn't stop. So I like, you turn and just see me like, and then smack straight into it.
Billy, if Wim would try to catch, you can roll in athletics. I will tell you this too. Prax, if Varen would like to try to catch using I don't know what, you are within catching distance through the portal. Regardless of who wants to do something, tell me what you'd like to roll, but I will require a roll from Josh, athletics, to see just how easy your contact with this place of power is.
He's gonna get pissed because he wants his privacy, so he's gonna like bolster an arm up, like, "Hey, I'm working here," and then
doing some heavy lifting.
Yeah, it burns a whittle. Do you want me to do brawling or for like a?
Why would I want you to do that?
I was gonna say that sounds great to me, but
I don't know mechanically how this is gonna work.
What happens when a slightly speedy object hits an immovable object.
Right. I will take a brawl if you're just going for like a grab, and I will take athletics too if you want to try to like, almost like whenever you're watching football, and somebody runs out of bounds going as fast as they can, and one of the coaches grabs them to slow them down so they don't crash into the Gatorade table. Something like that. I went a long way for that, everybody. It took a while to go around the track for that one.
Nobody told me there was a Gatorade table here at this place of power, because like I feel like we're parched. Like just like
Yeah.
Make sure you hydrate, everybody. 22, 17. I'm going to say that you can be caught, unless Varen would like to do something that would supersede all of that physicality.
No.
No, Greg. What? Okay, so you all are able to stop. You
I'm
still
holding a portal open still.
you still bounce off of it a bit, but it's more you're kind of grabbed, and the soles of your boots kind of smack against it as you're able to kind of be redirected, and you feel as you are stopped the rush of tears coming back through your back and inside, like being reabsorbed.
Fantastic. Okay, so Wim. Weird ghost lady goes in me. Right in front of you. As you are about to visit the gentleman's
Wait, from the way that he described this, was putting his hand up, I'm busy. Roll me an awareness, Wim, because you might be concentrating on other things and miss the ghost lady.
it's not even not even a euphemism. Just
This is gonna be
Thank you, Dice. with a lucky 13, no, you don't. You do not see the ghost lady go into Eris's back.
and I pause. Do I sense any magic left in this place of power? Because I've got priors with these sorts of things. Is this just dead now?
It seems dead for now.
Shit. Okay.
And that's normal for a place of power. It can be drained, and then over time the runes kind of fire back up,
yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, it... Fuck, okay.
Gentlemen, if you're not too busy, the door won't stay open forever.
How deep is this lake?
You're 50 yards out, and you're not sure how deep it is.
But where we're standing, it's like at my waist.
Yeah. So probably up to Eris's like chest level, like diaphragm level.
Okay, in which case I will stand a little unsteadily, like takes me a moment to like re-get my center of balance back together. And I will swan dive like through the portal and like come out in a graceful roll on the other side.
yeah.
And expect Letho to have like a scorecard. Just saying.
He does not.
And before I jump
Of
through,
course, because why would he do anything that contributes at all to this fucking party?
And before I jump through the portal, Wim's gonna harness himself up again and like duck down under the water of the standing area to see if there's any sort of foreign objects or anything, because places of power usually have something there, to see if there's any sort of token or anything that can be taken.
Roll me.
To clarify, I need you to actually say this. You just pissed in the water, and now you're dipping your head into that water to have a good look around. Good, great.
It all
Nope.
goes to the same place.
Yep. No.
Nature. Beautiful.
Did you go to School of the Bear or School of the Bear Grylls? Is that like I don't understand?
You'll find out.
Both? Why not both? Why not both?
We can do whatever we want here. Both. All right. Roll me an awareness check, please.
I'm going to burn my remaining 3 points of luck for this. Okay. Like that.
My God.
29.
You, again, the water is very murky. And as you dip down, you don't see anything at first. You check kind of like the base down to where your boots are. And you're just about ready to surface when around what would be kind of the blind side of this submerged obelisk, this submerged stone, you see propped up against the base is what looks to be a wide, maybe 2 hands across, but broken, a dinner plate.
Oh, I could use this for something. I'll grab it.
You now have a broken dinner plate you found beneath your piss in a murky mountain lake.
That's a tale in and of itself.
That's right. Everything in The Witcher, if you ever presented that, that's the plate I found beneath my piss in a mountain lake. Everybody just lights a pipe, grabs a beer, and waits for the story on that one. You know?
I think you need to give it a name. Like, this is the plate of, like, it needs like a good, like, magic item name.
The plate of evacuation.
The plate of evacuation.
Fantastic.
And then I'm gonna leap, trudge, and then jump through the portal, and then flop on the ground, soaking wet.
And I'm assuming the portal goes away then, as soon as everyone's
Yes. The portal goes away as soon as everyone's through. She doesn't get rid of the staffs, though. They're both in her hands, and she's looking around.
Do a head count. We appear to be one short.
Yeah, about that. Technically, I was the only person on the right side to see Ezrin's snort a bunch of shit and then disappear and then fuck himself up.
Correct. Sorry, I had to sneeze.
So, could I mean, I was paying attention. Would I have seen him snort a bunch of shit and fuck himself up that way?
Let's roll a post-mortem awareness.
Cool. I respect that.
Very low DC, since again, someone snorting and changing into something isn't something one tends to miss.
And stripping a little bit, too.
16. There was stripping involved.
Yeah, you saw it.
Cool. His Royal Highness embraced his curse, and if we can find him, I can fix that. And actually, I don't like being here. We should get out of here. Creepy vampire Ezrin, are you coming or are you staying?
Sorry, that's hilariously awesome. I think the question I would ask while this is going on, because there was no immediate danger, I, in my invisible self, go back to where my clothes are and stuff, and I'm going to figure out if I can stop being a monster. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to concentrate on it. I'm going to see if I can do that so that I can reclothe myself before the rest of the group joins. If I can't, then I'll have to make another choice.
Several minutes have passed now. Minutes. Roll me a resist magic.
Okay. 22?
You feel it's not so much that you will your body to change back to the way it was. You just realize that as you think about it, much like whenever you're in a nightmare, if you say, wait, this isn't right, and you begin to stir from that illusion, you stir from the one that you're in until the hands that are holding the clothes are the hands that put them on.
Then I will, as quickly as possible, redress, and so that I can try to join my compatriots. So I hope that at that moment when Varan calls out that I can come stumbling out of the forest, not a creepy monster vampire, just like a regular person, a
Sure.
little disheveled.
You come stumbling out, and Letho is the first one to say something as he points one last time with his sword and then puts his sword away. Well, there he is. Can we go now? We might be able to reach the border in a day.
I'm not interested in the border, Letho.
Well,
Deucey looks furious. He's walking up to Varan. He's going to tell her, can you take me? Take me to where he went.
I'd need to know where it is and where it was and describe it in detail.
It was cold. He's going to describe everything he saw. I don't know exactly what he saw through that portal.
it was a completely dark and nondescript room. And if explained to Varan, she would know that this is a stealth teleportation room. It's designed not to have any identifying features.
I can't take you there.
Sorry?
I can't take you there.
Oh, then Deucey will stalk off and
Deucey.
Wait.
Wait. Well, we all said it. Now who's going to go first?
At least, could you describe the figure? Couldst thou describe the figure?
The other one.
Who's being asked what? Sorry?
Deucey, couldst thou describe the figure that you saw, that thou had seen through the portal?
You mean the mage?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I forgot what he looks like. What did he look like?
The only thing that you saw was a hooded figure.
Right.
You couldn't make out any type of identifying marks. A hand reached forward. It too was shadowed and helped Ezekon of Kreve in to the portal. You didn't see anything else, no tattoos or rings, or if they were there, you didn't see them. But there was definitely a figure, but you only saw one.
So that's your answer. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see that guy.
Dost thou know if the figure were male or female?
No, I don't.
Got one better for you.
Why do you ask?
Your blade.
Sorry?
Your blade.
What about it?
Did you cut him?
No.
I did.
With?
I imagine I have blood on my hands.
Hold still a moment, and she'll reach in her bag and pull out a cloth and wipe that around his hands and
It's
fold
just
it.
a regular hand, but it's just covered in a little bit of gore.
Varan has no affect as she's doing this whatsoever.
My 3 Witchers, roll me Witcher training, please.
For no reason.
Oh.
$21. Eros wins the prize. You can tell immediately upon seeing even this blood dried on the hands of Ezran that it is currently carries a toxicity of black blood. So any type of blood or spit would sizzle and ultimately be rendered inert.
That's fucking unfair.
Yeah, there's a lot about these folk that are unfair, and I'm tired of playing by their rules. Deucey, if you'd be so kind, don't go too far. We have places to be.
Yeah, where?
Letho needs to get somewhere. Wim, where exactly are these elves that you know of? Describe it in detail.
No.
Quickly, please.
You snap at me again, I'll throw you in the lake.
You try it and I'll stab you through your heart. Let's go.
Okay. Can we all maybe take a moment?
Yes, I want to get this man gone because I have other places to be. And it's really easy for me to, but I can't send him somewhere unless I know where I'm going, roughly, generally.
I like that plan.
You don't get a say in this.
We were supposed to get this guy before we took this giant to the border.
I believe the agreement was I would take you to them.
Well done.
Thank you.
And a great help you were.
That was not part of the bargain.
Yeah. Well, he can wait.
Well, we escort you, and you
got
just
wounds. Deucey, we've got wounds to tend to. Look at your leg.
Yeah.
So while he does that, just describe to me in complete detail where exactly these two elves that you know of are.
Who's got the first aid to look at his leg?
I'll take care of my own leg.
I'll help.
And,
Maybe.
And then Wim reluctantly describes the altar-ish type place where he met Ezekon in the Blue Forest.
Yeah, it's you would know. This is actually a place that Varan probably would know of. It is the meeting place where back in the day, Ezran might know as well. Back in the day, where the elves would meet the humans that had come into the valley between the Kestrels and the Blue Mountains would become Kedwin. But it's still nestled right up against the forests, the dense forests that are at the foothills of the Blue Mountains. And nowadays, it is considered the border, the line of demarcation. And in fact, when poachers try to go into the Blue Mountain Woods, it is upon this altar or spikes around it that their heads are arrayed.
She waits as she listens to this, nodding appropriately.
Letho sees all of this going on with the first aid with Deucey, and reaches into a pack that is not his satchel and produces what looks to be a potion bottle that you would all know to be Swallow, and throws it to Deucey. For fuck's sake, take that. You'll end up losing that leg.
All right.
And Ezran says to the group while he's moving closer to Deucey, because he's going to just look at it, he says, we needs must tell the villagers the outcome of this day.
We don't
ere
have
we
to
do anything else.
It's
So look at you in the eyes and say, we're not going to tell them everything, are we?
Nay.
Your Royal Highness. We don't need to do that yet. It's actually kind of like 6th or 7th.
Fair.
Because in a minute, I'm going to open a portal and we're going to step through. He's going to talk to a bunch of elves. Hopefully get himself gone. We'll come back. Then you can talk to a bunch of other people.
With your help, of course. To gain me passage into their lands.
I said I'd facilitate.
And then he just turns to Deucey and he sort of leans over to Deucey and he says, Deucey, this man will die.
You says a bit. He's simmering, so he's just gonna sit.
That was Ezran's attempt at comfort, but for a person like Deucey, I think the way you comfort them is not to say, "Hey, are you feeling okay?" It's by saying, "There will be murder." So that was his attempt to make Deucey feel better.
Yeah. No, he looks at you a bit like knowing what he knows about how that battle went down. He looks at you a bit confused, but yeah, he's just simmering.
We're gonna say that between the first aid and the swallow that you got, Deucey, you can walk on the leg. You are still going to have it's stabilized basically. So you're gonna have a -2 to your speed, your dodge and escape, and your athletics until somebody with a little bit more skill can take a look at that.
Right. -2 to speed, dodge, and athletics. All right.
But Prax, as far as Varon's concerned, you would be able to get like a ping on where you need to go. You know, you have enough to.
Yeah, so I'm not jumping blind. I just need
No.
the. Okay.
I shall gather the horses while Mistress Varon, whilst thou make preparations.
I don't think they'll fit. Technically, a standing portal is 1 meter by 2 meters, so it might depend on the height of the horse.
I'm going to walk them through.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
I know where they are.
Where?
Well, they're in the north. And there's a good chance they're in Kari Seren.
Why dost thou think so?
Because last time I was there, somebody was covering his tracks. And they've been delving into that place. I wouldn't be surprised if they're holed in there. You can see his mind racing. But he's not sure.
It's a start. But. And she steps away and brings both staves, which are still in her hands, up and crosses them again to open a portal.
Esmer will gather our horses from a few meters that way so they're not left in the forest by themselves.
And she can put herself exactly where she wants to be.
You appear about 10-15 yards away from the flat-topped table they call the altar. You do see some rotting heads that are on pikes. And before you, to the east, is the vast blue mountains. But closer than that, about 100 yards from the altar itself, the stone table, is an incredibly dense wood. Wim, you would know this place very well.
Oh, Levo. That's where we go.
Yes. You're the one I need for this, so... Shall we?
Do me a favor. As we walk through the woods, take a bit of cloth, wrap it around your eyes, and trust everything I say.
Well, I would hate to do that, but... Are you all approaching the woods?
Did you all go through the portal?
I would go second to last because I've got horses.
I will go last because fucking my horse is a dick. I imagine it takes some time to get it to cooperate.
It's exactly what happens, but it does.
And as we get to the line of the woods, Wim will look back. It'd be best if you all stayed here.
I am for staying here. I don't need to go any further. If they want to talk to me, they know where to find me. She would wait till everybody crosses through the portal and then close it.
Portal's closed. So,
Certain Master Wim,
Yeah,
thou wouldst go alone.
yeah. I'm safe here. You're not.
Let me join you.
Nope. I'm sorry, I wasn't asking. I said it would be best if you would stay here. I appreciate your concern, but I don't want to see you get armed. These are keepers of the old ways. While I do enjoy your company, I can't trust you to not do exactly as I say.
Suit yourself. And yeah, Ezrin or Eric, we're gonna have to have a talk.
so just Wim then? Letho would turn around, not nod or recognize anybody because this was an agreement. You don't thank somebody for doing their job. But he does spend a moment to look at Eros. Between them, the last of the School of the Viper. If you live, maybe you can meet me over the mountains.
We've already got a place to go over the mountains, but it's far further up than you can reach. And even though it's not nighttime, I point high above the mountains where the star rests.
Well then. And then he just turns away. Walks with Wim. Wim, you all get to about 20 feet from this very pronounced line of wood where the plains grasses kind of flatten a bit and the dense, hard wood begins. And you see a figure standing between two trees. One you recognize as Brillar. What are you doing here?
Finishing the job. How have you been?
Surviving.
How are the wolves?
A hint of a smile on her face. But good.
That's good. You ever venture out of these woods?
Only to get others of my kind and bring them here.
Yeah. I've seen some pretty things. Maybe we can sit down one time and share it.
I'm gonna make you roll something.
Brawling.
That's exactly what it is. Okay. Charisma, persuasion, or seduction.
All of them are the same. Let's go big or go home. I'm gonna seduction.
Love it.
Again, that ghost of a smile. Maybe. But then it darkens as she turns towards Letho. Who is this?
A friend. I'm escorting into retirement.
I need passage into the woods. Her face hardens. You do not have it. We only grant that to one at a time. And it is his to give. And she indicates you, Wim.
Wim will dig deep into one of his pockets. Very deep one at the very bottom. One that he hasn't touched in a very long time. And at the very bottom of this pocket, you hear like a jingling of a small chain. Some rocks and pebbles and a trinket or two fall out as he pulls it up. And on this chain is a slice of what seems to be a melon.
You see sadness go across Brilar's face, but Letho takes it if you offer it to him.
A
Puts it
witcher
on.
to a witcher, I keep my word.
You do. Well then, word keeper. And he turns and walks away. He walks up to Brilar, looks at her for a moment as she looks at him, and there's a warning that goes through her eyes to his, and he simply says, "Just a straight shot. Just walking straight through." And he steps inside the wood, and just a step or two, and he's already shadowed, enough so his eyes have that glow to them, even in the darkness. And Brilar looks back at you, Wim, and for a moment, her sharp eyes pass over your shoulder and gaze at your group. For a moment, they linger on Ezran, and she turns back to you. Maybe. And from the darkness, 2 or 3 steps in, Letho comes back just enough, still within the border. And he begins to back away, but still facing you. Our accord is met. The hex is lifted. But one last thing. I can't go through all this trouble just to have Emir send forces into the mountains. I need him and everyone else to believe the Kingslayer still walks the north. And since only a handful know what I look like, well, I'm sure plenty have heard enough tall tales that we can look however we wish. Regardless, you two, and Wim, he indicates you, and you see him jerk his head back towards Eros. You two are the Kingslayers now. I wish I would have known there was a third. Would have helped dilute them that follow me. Afraid I gave your likenesses to every significant authority I could think of here, identifying you as the Kingslayer. I would say I was sorry, but I'm not. Thanks for being a Witcher of Honor. And he disappears into the woods. In Built Hollow, with its wooden palisade. A small village with small mines that Letho passed through mere hours after you all. They are currently hammering up a wanted bill that bears the likeness of Wim of Gesso but reads, "For crimes of regicide, sedition, and murder, Letho of Gullet." Many of the townsfolk are pale and make holy gestures, recognizing the mountain of a man that threatened these gates mere days ago. Back at the village of Laud, as someone hammers up a recently delivered wanted sheet, it reads, "For crimes of regicide, sedition, and murder, Letho of Gullet." But the picture resembles Eros of Gesso. The bartender whose husband was killed by the Leshen passes by the recently tacked bill. At first pays it no mind, but then her head pops up and slowly turns back to the image. But that, my friends, is where we will end this session of the Witcher Family of Wraiths. Yay, my friends! Let's go around and talk to everybody. What do you think, Legion? Let's go talk to everyone. Let's go around in the opposite direction. Prax, how are you? Where can we find you, my friend? And how much do you love Letho? Yay!
I mean, I know where to find him if I want to. There's no way he can hide from me. But I'm fine. Hey all, you know me. I'm at Dirgedonnen on Twitter, or Praxis as me for as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. This was fun. This was a lot of fun, and things are interesting. Things are very interesting now. But as for me, you can find me on Friday over on Wandering DM for a very different R. Telsorian game with Cyberpunk Red, as things are very interesting and dinner at a Chinese restaurant might get very complicated. But and then Saturday you can find me over on Wandering DM as I run the show for some Vampire Nightfall Masquerade in New York City. There are consequences to people's actions, even if they don't believe that they have some. And then Monday over on Katie Face's channel, because it's the finale of Lady Blackbird. But always check where I'm going to be, because I post that on Twitter and also all the games that I write. So I can't wait till next week to see what happens next. Veron has a plan and she's tired of dicking around.
I love the sound of that. Let's drop down to Billy. Billy, my friend, how are you doing and where can we find you online?
I'm doing great. Loved the episode. RP was on point. Combat was on point. Love hanging out with y'all. Love hanging out with the Legion. You can find me on the interwebs at Middle of the Forest. And on Tuesday nights with Greg, I do a Simple Room game on WebDM's channel. Super stoked for that. It's a lot of fun. And that's it. You can follow me if you want. If you don't, I don't give a fuck. But if you do not be a divisive dick. We are on the same team. Get your head out of your ass and realize that. That's it.
Bill of the Forest for President 2020. I'm serious. Because that needs to be the slogan. Don't be a divisive dick. Let's drop down to Trooper. Trooper, my friend, how are you and where can we find you online?
Hey, Letho is not my best friend, but that's cool. That's cool. He's awesome. He sounds really friendly. Sounds super cool. Hope everything works out well for him. You know, right? Yeah. I'm doing well. Still mad at some people who need to be dead, but that's cool. But not in a divisive way. I mean that in a friendly way where let's not be divisive, but I'm gonna have to kill you, or Deucey will, or somebody. There's gonna be some death. I'm doing well though. You can find me at Trooper SJP on the Twitch, and this Friday is the series premiere of a campaign I'm running in Fate called City of Light and Shadow, and it is a French Resistance campaign with double crit in it as which you're this way, probably that way. Yes, as an ex-soldier and driver, and I'm very excited for that. And that's happening on Friday at 7 Eastern on my channel. And otherwise, you can find me at Academic Foxhole on Twitter. And that's me. That's me. Also, we're gonna murder some people. That's it. Just murder that guy. Murder Jeffers. Jeffers has got to be murdered. Letho probably will not be murdered, but he should be shamed. He should be ashamed of himself. He should feel bad.
We'll get someone to follow him around with a bell.
Yes.
Shame. As we thank you very much, my friend. I have my character art, but I'll get to that later. Let's go over to Josh. Josh, my friend, how are you doing? I thank you for hanging in there, my friend. I know you don't feel well. Where can we find you, bud?
You can talk to me. It doesn't mean I'm going to talk back. Yeah.
Good night.
I'm not. Yeah. Good night. No. I'm not mad at Letho in the slightest. I completely understand. Plus, like, genuinely doesn't make much difference to me in the long run. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm mad about. But I am mad, and people will die. Yeah, it was a busy episode. A lot of stuff happened. Certainly not how I was expecting the episode to go. And yeah, we will see what happens next week. I love the parting shots. I love I also love the cinematic views of like seeing all that stuff. I truly adore that. I don't care about sort of like people, it's because we're all experienced enough role players that we don't metagame and stuff like that. So that's just really nice visual for us, and really exciting to see how the world moves on without us or around us. So that's a lot of fun. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at roleplayers_TV, which you can see below me. You can find me here in Twitch chat, and here on Twitch on Wednesdays. You can find me hanging out in Twitch chat to LFM on LFM_network for Veiled Alliance, which is an absolutely amazing show run by a friend of the channel, Don Fry, who's just fucking amazing. And speaking of Don, I will day after tomorrow on Friday be at 3 p.m. EST over on Encounter Roleplay, be playing the Haunting of Seawall Orphanage, and it is going to be rough. It is going to be horrible. I went to a church. It was a mistake. I am going to possibly die. I am a 16-year-old kid with no powers, nothing at all. I'm just a 16-year-old in my hoodie, and a lot of shit has happened. And we're only on episode 3. So yeah, it's I'm very afraid. So follow me there, and hopefully see you guys to support me on Friday when I cry myself into a small puddle on the floor.
That's almost to be expected, but you just have fun doing it. Just ride the ride. Put your arms up on the roller coaster, my friend, because you're going to get that with Don for show. As we go, last but not least, to my buddy JF. JF, how are you, my friend? Sorry about the leg, but I loved everything that happened. I thought it was badass.
It was badass. It was badass. You never get what you want, but you get what you need. And I guess I needed this. I guess I needed it. I guess Deucey needed it. A little ass kicking, that's okay. We're gonna see about it in the third act. Yeah, that nemesis, that guy, that whoever that was, who just added insult to injury by just walking away, he's going down. Yeah, he's really going down. If I had better dice, I think I'm gonna have to invest in my skills, because this guy was just destroying me. But it was a great fight. Really cool revelation with Ezran. Cool revelation. I'm trying to role play that, like what? He's pissed at losing, and he finds out this guy, is a vampire. That's tough. I felt torn in two role-playing directions there. but it's hard. It's hard. And the dice. I don't know what Roll20 is doing. Roll20, you got to help me out. We have an agreement, so please help me out. But it was great. It was great. It was. I just want to. Yes. I want the next session. I want the next session to be
Now?
cringe. Yes.
Yes.
We're getting there. We're getting there. As soon as we can figure out how to get those portals going to where their portals are going.
We can visit them and we'll have like a little chat with them that
Yeah.
involves murder.
Portal update. All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much. It was good fun.
Awesome.
Double crits, by the way. Double crits.
Yep,
Forgot
double
about
crits in chat, everybody. Make sure
and there's the City of Lights with Foxhole, which I forgot to plug, but it's gonna be a trip.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be amazing.
I'm gonna bust my French.
What?
So, yeah. Well,
Turns
there
out he
you go.
speaks French, maybe.
There you go.
I love it. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome, my friends. As always, Wednesday nights are just the best. I get to hang out with the Legion. I get to hang out with all of these wonderful people. If you're watching on YouTube, though, and you would like to hang out, follow our Discord link down in the chat. Show up, pop up. We do community games. We'll be doing a lot more coming up this spring as we do 1 and 2 and 3 shots in various systems. Have fun doing it. And even if you don't want to play, just show up and talk about games or talk about nerdy stuff, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. Believe me, we're there. We'll talk about any of that stuff anytime. You just need to hang out, listen, and be among friends, because I have the very, 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 very great privilege of being able to play with kind people. You've witnessed them all right here. It's the greatest salve. This is the greatest therapy session ever, to surround yourself with people that make the world better, because by osmosis, even through the virtual tabletop that we use, Roll20, you are able to glean peace from them. And that is why, one of the main reasons I do this. I have wonderful friends, Legion, the ones I'm playing with, and you all give me peace, and I appreciate it so very much. Again, just Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, Tales from the Grim on the Twitch. Join us for some games. We have some fun stuff coming up. Big announcements coming in the next couple days for things that we will have popping up. But just show up, hang out. See us play Witcher next week. This group is fantastic. As the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s, but you can always role play. We'll see you next time, friends.